Great, great. I think Anton's still muted, and then Jose, our CTO, should be in here as well somewhere.
Okay, if he just raises his hand, it'll come to the top of the list. And
I've been muted. Anton and Jose, I see him.
Oh, there.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Is my video on? I see it.
No, I can't see any video yet.
There we go. One sec, I'm just setting up the camera. I've never done a video call on Telegram before, so.
300 people. This is awesome. Glad everybody can make it here today.
It's great. Great you've come, ProductShare. Yeah, looking forward to the AMA.
Yeah, and once we get started here, we'll be locking chat, guys. We'll post all the official links right there in our main chat. So if you guys want to follow along, you can open up their socials and everything. And as Glenn goes through his questions, we'll open it up to community members as well towards the second half of the AMA. So stay tuned for that. Oh, we can see you now.
All right. Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey, I'm having some weird issue where I can't turn on my camera. It says I need to give it access, but I did give it access. So
yeah, I got that too. Just try it again, and then it's gonna work.
So what? Just quit and reopen, or?
No, I didn't have to. I just clicked the video again, and then it worked.
You clicked the video again. Okay, hang on. Click the video again. Oh, there you go. All right.
See you there?
Hang on a moment. Yeah.
There you go. I can see you.
How are you doing, everyone?
Okay, great. Yeah, doing good. Right, if you guys are ready, then I can start the recording and introduce you, and we can go into the ProductShare project.
Cool. Let's go.
Okay, yeah. So
record the video as well, yeah, and we'll be live recording on YouTube. So let's just start this. Good evening to the Welcome Talk community. Today we have an AMA with ProductShare. ProductShare is an e-commerce protocol that automatically rewards participants with 50% cash back when they share links to the products they have purchased. We'll be going through the ProductShare shopping platform, the Share Cash token, which is a stable coin, and the stake share governance token as well. But first, guys, if we could just start with a bit of background and experience in the core team, that'd be great.
Cool. Well, my name is Anton Polsky. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder at ProductShare. Myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur. This company is my lucky number 7. I've been building companies since 2005. When I was studying computer science at the University of Waterloo. And, my first company was in the area of online poker. I played professional poker starting out, and then I've done companies in different areas, a couple B2B businesses and a few consumer internet companies. I got into crypto very early on as an enthusiast. In 2013, I think I bought my first Bitcoin. And I was just like experimenting with Silk Road at the time, as I'm sure many people were at that time. And as a business, I started looking at it probably in 2015 when Ethereum came out. And in 2016, we've built a data center in Seattle that was mining Ethereum or any really GPU mineable coins. We had about 1,000 rigs in that data center. So that's when I first experienced building smart contracts, because we essentially created a token that would reward the the investors with the mining profits. And and the company was called GP Unity. It still exists. It's just it's run by my cousin out of Seattle, Washington. And after that, I took a little bit of a break, and I was I was sort of between companies. I just had an exit, and in 2019. I was living in Miami, and I was, got into yoga and spirituality, and I really started looking at, conscious values as applied to business. And I stumbled upon conscious capitalism, which is a framework for starting companies where the business exists not just for, enriching the shareholders, but also for providing value for the environment in which the business operates and for the customers in an equal format. So now there's a lot more of these types of businesses that got really popularized by the guy who started Trader Joe's. So he published a white paper, which we reference in our white paper on conscious capitalism. And I really wanted to apply, that system. But one thing that was missing prior to crypto is that deterministic, autonomous way of rewarding shareholders and actually decentralizing company governance. So the concept of decentralized autonomous organizations was tremendously interesting. And, one day I was meditating, and the idea of, sharing purchases and rewarding customer, like I was thinking of a way of how do you reward customers for participating in your ecosystem in the most automatic way possible. And I've had a lot of experience, building, landing pages for products and, figuring out conversion stuff. So to me, the idea of, hey, I buy this product, I share it at the time of purchase, and then, somebody else buys it, and that triggers a reward. And that could really be implemented as a smart contract. And the only thing that was missing at that point was like a way to distribute value in a stable format. So that's really what led to the invention of the share cash token, which allows you to, actually the share cash token is minted when transactions occur, and it's by definition one-to-one to the reserves that we have stored in our account. And we use this platform called Mercury, which allows us to mint, when we receive a deposit into our Mercury account, share cash automatically gets minted. So the number of share cash in circulation is always reflective of the number of dollars in the bank account in Mercury. And Mercury actually allows you to create like these unruggable bank accounts. So the only thing that can interact with our bank account is the API, right? And what we're intending to do in the future is actually using Chainlink to allow people to verify the balance of the Mercury account so that it is completely transparent. Like one of the key requirements for ProductShare is, complete transparency. And that's really like the core value that we want to instill and be a model for other types of conscious businesses that, that we consider the environment and, the people in the community where we operate on equal footing with direct stakeholders like investors or, employees, right? That's why we look at it as like, the threes, God loves the threes. So it's, we split our profits in three categories with our co-creators, our customers, and charitable causes that align with our general mission. Sorry, I keep talking.
Yeah.
So maybe Jose can tell us a little bit about himself.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Jose Herrera. I'm the CTO and lead developer. I have lots of experience in crypto. I've been involved in crypto since 2015. I've worked on lots of different projects. A big one of those is Polymath. And when I met Anton at Bitcoin Miami, he told me about his vision and just made a lot of sense. And the protocol that he's making really benefits everyone. Not only benefits the token holders, benefits the community, and it really is a win-win for everyone. He can talk more about the tokenomics soon, but it really is genius the way that it works.
Yeah, I just want to have one thing to add is that, Amazon is currently hoarding billions of dollars in capital, just sitting in a bank account in Ireland somewhere. And this money is not being used for any benefit, right? I mean, it's obviously earning interest to them, but it's not benefiting the environment. So like what we envision is creating a marketplace that takes a portion of this of their market share, but not all of it, because I'd love to take all of it, but they sell 95% of what they sell is garbage. So essentially, we want to create a marketplace that's curated by its customers, so that the products that end up in the marketplace are, made by conscious companies that care about environment, use sustainable manufacturing, use materials that are ecologically friendly. So that would really narrow down our market share to about 5% of Amazon, which is still in the billions, but and essentially, take that revenue that's normally just sitting in a bank account and give it away, and not just give it away, but give it for the benefit of the community where we work. And as a result, let people discover amazing products without having to sift through the noise that you see on Amazon.
There's lots of ways that you can describe ProductShare, but simply understanding that ProductShare unlocks the liquidity in a huge e-commerce store is just like, that's when it clicked for me. Like he said, there's all this money stored in e-commerce, but it's just locked away. It doesn't float throughout the space, and our tokens can do that, and it's very unique.
Awesome, Anton and Jose. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, so if we can go into, for investors, the ProductShare shopping platform, how it works for shoppers. I mean, essentially they're just buying what they would be buying weekly or monthly, and then they'll get a percentage back if a friend or anyone that joins their links from their socials. I think I was reading on the white paper. Yeah.
Well, that's essentially true. So so each product has a cashback rate that's associated with it, which is really a function of the profit margin on that product. So we've done a lot of testing. So we've been working on this for 2 years, and we've been testing the product market fit, where we wanted to understand, how the incentive affects conversion, and what is the maximum amount of cashback that we can possibly give away, right? So we have instances where we can give away 100% of the product value as a cashback because of the nature of the conversion funnel. Because if you look at, let's say I have 200 friends on Facebook, right? And I have more, but like an average American consumer has 200 friends on Facebook. And the Facebook algorithm is also very quantitative, and it shows your posts to 35% of the people that are you're friends with. So if I buy a product with 200 friends, only 70 of them, so 35% of 200, will actually see that post. Now, we also know the percentage of the people that click through posts. So you take that 70 and then you take 5% of those people, and they make the click. So now you're down to 3.5 people that ended up on your landing page. Now, a typical landing page in e-commerce across all the products is about 1.5% conversion rate. With product sharing, we have about 2.5. But even then, you take 3.5 and multiply it by 2%. So it works out to be 0.07 people. So if you flip it the other way, you get 7% of your top line revenue gets paid out as a cashback reward. So if you have a product with a profit margin that's above 7%, you have a sustainable, profitable business. So for us, when we're selecting products and we're working with manufacturers, we work with them on a drop shipping basis, where we say, hey, you guys, we haven't talked to Apple yet, but let's say, a yoga company like Shakti Warrior, we tell them, we are transparent about the model, and we're saying, if you give us a 20% commission on the sale, then we're going to be able to offer our customers a 50% cash back on their purchases. And I'm just oversimplifying the formula. There's, it's a mathematical formula that I can share with everyone after. But let's say if we have a product with a 40% margin, we can 100% pay 100% cash back on that purchase. So another factor in that formula is the price of the product, which matters. So our sweet spot is products anywhere between like $44 to $111 range. And we've built simulations for these various ranges. And the only time this product, the system doesn't really work is they're like very cheap products, like products that are like under $20. Then we need to have a much higher margin for the cashback mechanism to work. But the cashback itself is usually coming out of the profit. But the way we maintain the separation between the reserve that we use for cashbacks is we take 33% of the profit of the business, and that gets allocated to our customers, right? So from that separate wallet, that's where the cashback comes out. So we always have a separate store where the smart contract would grab the share cash and give it to the customer if they unlock the share cash. Obviously, fraud and collusion is going to be a big factor. And, you know, there's definitely going to be some challenges around that. But we look forward to these challenges because, you know, like when PayPal was starting out, that was like their biggest issue, right? Like people were trying to scam you. So, so to us, you know, the blockchain itself and, you know, and some level of decent KYC will help us sort of, you know, eliminate the bad actors, we hope. And obviously the community itself, we feel like we're building it on values of integrity. So we'll try to minimize the number of people try to take advantage of this amazing system.
So a super idea for consumers, I think, because like, you know, you're out buying anyway. I know a lot of family and friends, they might be planning on buying the same thing, like an iPhone or an Android phone, and then if the second person gets a discount, they could then split that between the family and friends. But also I was thinking, are you looking to approach influencers as well on YouTube, you know, because that's a huge market where they advertise something on their platform, and you know, you could get your ProductShare project out there as well through influencers who could make money on the platform.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been in stealth mode for 2 years just because we wanted to take our time and not really race against the clock and conceptualize everything. And we've spoken to, since we literally just published our documentation last week, because we wanted to stay under the radar. And, you know, Amazon has been very like aggressive when it comes to dealing with competitors, and you know, we haven't really yet announced, but we're bringing on board one of the senior Amazon executive in a senior role at ProductShare. So there's probably going to be legal trouble with them at some point. So we wanted to like push that off as much as possible. But now that the cat is out of the bag, so to speak, we're going to be working with influencers in many categories. Fashion in particular is near and dear to us because we own a clothing company. So if you guys want to see, www.rareformstyle is a clothing company that we've acquired. And we wanted to really, like through Rareform, we wanted to figure out what it takes to run your own brand, how that affects margins. Because eventually ProductShare will be a launchpad for these new brands that are coming on board. And product staking will be and we'll talk about product staking, I'm sure, later on. Product staking will be the fuel that gets the capital for these products to, you know, manufacture, supply. Yeah, I guess Brandon, you might have something to add on the. So Brandon is our chief marketing officer. He's pretty much leading all of the marketing initiatives, and he's very capable.
Yeah, sorry, my video wasn't working earlier, but nice to meet everyone. Yeah, if anyone has any specific questions, I know Glenn, you just brought up like some influencer and some affiliate marketing initiatives that we might be taking on. It's all part of our plan to turn every ProductShare user into an affiliate in the simplest way possible and change the experience for the average everyday shopper. So when you're purchasing a product that you would buy anyways, why not also have the chance to make money on it and or not even make money on it, just pay nothing for it. So that's essentially the benefit.
Well, I guess the one thing that I wanted to add, so we're building up to like the one thing that is, in my opinion, and I've been in crypto for a long time, is going to be revolutionary, is the product staking protocol. So the challenge that we've had during our experiments is that in order for us to scale the marketplace, we would need a significant marketing budget allocated towards each product category and to each individual product. And that would mean that we would need to go out and we would need to raise funding like what like the guys like Wish raised, right? And they raised like hundreds of millions, maybe even $1 billion. And that, you know, diluted the ownership and really removed that whole, you know, owned by the community aspect into the hands of a few big venture capital funds. So that's what drove us to invent the product staking protocol. And we've acquired a domain name called productstake.com, which will list all of the products that are sold on our platform, along with the on-chain performance data. Like, all the sales are obviously on-chain because every transaction is recorded in share cash. And users are going to be able to stake share cash towards individual products. So the pool, just like the way you do yield farming, like you take your tokens, you stake them towards a particular product, and you have full visibility as to how this product is being sold. And if you, whatever ratio of the marketing budget your stake represents, that would be the percentage of share cash that you would receive as a reward. So, like all of the yield in the industry, that's essentially Ponzi schemes when people are, printing their own token and then paying out the yield, and then the token tanks. So here the yield actually has basis in actual revenue, and it's completely sustainable. So we're going to allow the community to utilize share cash that they potentially earned as cash back, or you can purchase share cash. We haven't released that yet, but we on our dashboard, you're going to be able to use your bank account, and up until a certain amount, I think up until $1,000, you can just buy it on your debit card and then use those funds to stake. And like our models have shown yields anywhere between like 50 to 100% annually that are sustainable. They're not based on like some token. And now here's the cool part. So let's say I'm an affiliate that sells, the iPhone, and Jose is an affiliate that sells the iPhone. Now we're both duplicating each other's efforts because we're competing. We're building landing pages, taking time out of our day, and then we're giving Google and Facebook advertising dollars to drive traffic to our landing pages. Now flip that model with product staking. Jose and I take that same amount of money that we would normally spend on promoting our landing pages and stake it to the iPhone's pool on product stake. So what would happen then? Now we're no longer competing. Now we're aligned, and we don't need to worry about the headaches of looking at analytics and like seeing what each of us are doing. Now we can just go and confidently announce, hey, buy this iPhone, right? And we can both do the same thing because we know that our percentage is really proportional to our stake in the iPhone. And to me, that is a game changer. Like I've worked in a lot of affiliate models, and this will change the e-commerce industry because it really will change the need for affiliates to compete against each other. It will create a collaborative environment where good products will flourish, right? So it's like, I trust Apple products. I use them all the time. And that's why I used it as an example. We're a bit far from selling Apple, but Razer. So we have a deal with Razer, and I love Razer products, like their keyboards and their mice. Here's a Razer mouse. So essentially, like even like the technology products, they have lower margins for us. That's why it's hard to offer a high rate of cashback. But you can sort of extrapolate this to like a whole bunch of industries, fashion especially, right? Like, so it's we're very excited about the product stake protocol, and that really is the explanation of why over the 4 phases of our IDO, we're raising about $20 million, 18 million of it in share cash, and that is because to build the product stake platform, it requires a significant effort, and we're just about entering the phase of recruiting more engineers, and some of the senior leadership roles that we're filling require significant salaries. Like the guy from Amazon, he's asked for $1 million to an annual salary, and I'm getting paid 50. So it's like, it's quite a contrast to get senior people to run the company. But that really explains why we're trying to raise so much capital. And the private sale that we're doing right now is just to give us time to get the audits on the share cash token. It's the stake share token, because it is a bit of a complicated token in terms of its locks and distributions. And but I'll leave that. If you have like specific questions on the tokenomics, we can address those then, if you like.
We can go into that shortly, Anton, and Brandon being the marketing manager. I'm quite excited about the free marketing you're going to get, because it'll be word of mouth from consumers, and then the influencers you can bring on board because they're going to get such high returns for every product that's sold on the ProductShare shopping platform. I'm wondering how many products you're going to have on the platform. Is it going to go global, or will it be just start in certain countries first as well?
I guess I'll take that. So we have right now on the platform, there's probably like 100 products that we just put up just as we went public, but we have 1,000 products in our catalog right now, 1,000 SKUs. We plan to increase the catalog by about 10% per month. We've already, we have a team that's working with identifying products that fit our criteria, and it's not an easy set of criteria to be considered for the marketplace. But as soon as we shift the ownership of our platform towards the DAO model, the product selection process will be entirely consumer driven, right? So consumers that have stake share are going to be able to, vote for products to be included, and there'll be a voting system that will collect the number of votes towards a particular product. And if we don't yet have a relationship with that brand, our team will use the data from our community and approach the brand to structure a partnership. And eventually, it will be a completely self-serve process where the brands will just get access to a dashboard where they can self-manage onboarding of products onto the site. So right now, it's all very, very manual. We're simulating all of the processes that are going to be decentralized at the moment. But we envision it to be a fully automated process where eventually we won't even need the vendor acquisition team. It would be more get the data, allow the brand to see the data and the demand that that data represents, and then invite the brand into this automated self-onboarding process where they can manage, integrating their payment methods. So right now, let's say, like as an example, the way we work with brands is, we collect all of the products, we put it into our Airtable. That's essential database for products. And the payment system is usually integrated where we bill a customer's credit card. We automatically do a direct deposit into the vendor's account. So we're a drop shipping marketplace. The only inventory we currently have is there's a health product that we sell, and also obviously a rare form because we do our own manufacturing of the clothing. But generally speaking, ProductShare is a drop shipping model. So we would never sit on inventory. We would always try to negotiate a real-time distribution of revenue, and eventually, as share cash gets more and more liquidity, we won't even have to go to fiat. We will just be able to do straight to share cash, and we won't even need to worry about doing the ACH transfers, which currently occur. But thank God for the Mercury platform. I have nothing but great things to say about them. So Mercury.com is the bank that allows you to do API-based banking, right? So you can create bank accounts with permissions, so they cannot be rugged. You also can create very complicated API-based flows for cash distribution. It's kind of like Stripe does have similar capabilities, but they're more on credit processing, and we work with them. So Stripe is our main payment processor right now. And Mercury is the system where we have two accounts. We have one account that we cannot touch physically, and it only is for share cash. So the only thing that can touch this account is a contract that does the burn. So if, let's say we need money in fiat to pay somebody who's only getting paid in fiat, then we burn the corresponding number of share cash units, and that triggers an ACH transfer into our operations account. So we have two accounts on Mercury. One is a reserve account, and one is the operations account. And to transfer money from the share cash reserve account to the operations, it's a burn function. And to deposit money into share cash, it's obviously from sales. So that's from sales or from people purchasing share cash. So Jose, actually, we haven't released this yet, but if you go to sharecash.money, there'll be a way for you to log in. Oh, actually, no, I think right now it's even live. So it's app.productshare.cash. You'll be able to log into your ShareCash dashboard, and you'll be able to purchase ShareCash or convert ShareCash to fiat, which we already have implemented. We're just waiting on a few regulatory things before we roll it out. Right now, you can withdraw ShareCash to your Binance wallet, but within the next couple of weeks, we will add ACH transfers, so you'll be able to link your debit card, and you'll be able to withdraw ShareCash directly in real time to your bank account, which is the way it should be, like 100%.
Yeah, the ShareCash stablecoin is super exciting because right now in the market, we're seeing the failure of lots of algorithmic stablecoins that clearly don't work. Tether kind of works, but it's so opaque. You can't see what's in their bank account. You're going to be able to do that with ShareCash. You could clearly see that one ShareCash is backed by $1 of sales on ProductShare. It's so transparent, and it's backed by something real, a real store with real people buying items.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about the ARBs, right? Like, even if we have decentralized pools, like, for example, we have a partnership with a charitable token called Farmer Doge, right? And we're going to have, and we just announced today a partnership with a decentralized payments platform called Just Money that has their own liquidity. So we're going to pair ShareCash with these other tokens to provide users of those tokens ability to get liquidity in fiat, right? So they would be able to trade the Just Money token into ShareCash, and then either use the ShareCash to make purchases or withdraw it to their fiat. But the point that I was making is that normally stable coins get arbitraged because the rates are always different, right? So here, we don't need to worry about our own market making, so we don't have to have the expense of hiring market makers to even out these pools, because the market itself will even it out, right? So if if the rate in one of these decentralized pools is going to be off, we don't need to worry about that, because we know that ShareCash is always back 1-to-1, right? So the market itself will correct that discrepancy. That's the word.
Going into the ShareCash.
Does that make sense, Glenn?
Yeah, going into the ShareCash token. So would people be able to hold it outside of the shopping platform? Well, the platform is going to use fiat, and then it's can be converted into the ShareCash token. So could I use it like BUSD and just say, oh, crypto is not doing very well, I just want to hold some ShareCash as it's a stable coin as well?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the longer term plan, and I think it's more. I mean, it's not our direct objective for ShareCash to be like a widely used stable coin, but it is plausible that because of its stability and because of these multiple use cases, like the product staking, yield generation, ShareCash will be used, within. Outside of our environment. Like, one of the things on our roadmap is the ProductShare wallet, which I'm really, really excited about, because it would allow ShareCash to be used in brick and mortar facilities. So a friend of mine in Florida, he runs a barber shop, and we literally, with a couple of iPads, we ran an experiment where let's say I want to get a haircut, right? So I come to his barber shop, I get a haircut, and at the time of payment, I product share it, right? So I pay him in ShareCash, and then it gets shared on my Facebook that I got a haircut, right? Now, so the call to action in that share would be, hey, come check out this barber shop, and when you come in, you either get like a discounted rate or you just get a free haircut, right? So there is a B2B strategy where these service-based businesses like nail salons, barbershops, oil change places, like all these little small businesses are going to be able to leverage their existing consumers to drive more traffic. So this friend of mine, Marcus, his barbershop is kind of like high end, right? So he's like, I kind of want, people of a certain demographic to be in that barbershop. So that gives him a chance to take his existing users, because chances are their social networks consist of people that are in the same income bracket, for example. Like, like most of the people that I'm friends with, I would say economically are in a very similar bracket as I am. So that's so by me sharing to my social network, he's getting more exposure to people like me, which is a more organic way to target advertising, because like what he was having trouble with on Facebook is he wasn't able to reach the right demographic, right? And so to us, the ProductShare wallet, or we don't know what we're going to call it, either the ShareCash wallet or the ProductShare wallet, will be a payment method that you'll be able to use in various places. And the product sharing protocol will be available to other platforms, right? So for example, like if I'm on on some website that has an online checkout process, they will have the option of adding product shares the way they would add like a PayPal at the checkout. And that is actually going to happen a lot sooner than you might think. It would, like we see that happening in 2023, where we will make the product, the ShareCash widget, available to other websites, and probably at in 2024 we can see the brick and mortar solution being ready. It all takes it all takes people, right? So we're if you guys want to work with us and you're smart, definitely give us a shot.
Great, Anton. And with the ShareCash token, what's the security around it? None of the team could sort of just take a load of money out of that, because it's based into a smart contract and it pays out the bonuses to shoppers and influencers. And with that stable coin, I forgot the second question, so I'll just leave you with that.
Could you elaborate on what you mean, like the security around ShareCash?
Is it like a multi-sig wallet that no one could just sort of take a load of assets out of the ShareCash token? And the other question was also with the stable coin, are you going to do like quarterly audits as well, like you do with BUSD and USDC?
Well, you don't need an audit. It's going to be transparent. Like, you would literally be able to look on the chain link, and you'll be able to see the balance inside of Mercury, and you'll be able to see the balance in the wallet. And so like the audit is going to be irrelevant. So there is this academic paper that I've based the idea on. It's like a self-auditing stable token. I will put, it's actually a reference in our first white paper. You can see it. It's called, it was a project in London called DigiPound, which created a self-auditing mechanism for a stable coin that you can purchase this DigiPound and completely on chain maintain this one-to-one relationship. And so you can look. So the one part that is hard to make visible is obviously showing the bank account balance, but thankfully Chainlink has solved that problem, so that there's no need for an audit. It's going to be always one-to-one, and if it isn't, alarm bells will ring somewhere.
Yeah, regarding the audits, some of the other stable coins have to do quarterly audits or yearly audits, because auditability is not part of the protocol. For ShareCash, we built it with auditability in mind. So anyone can check what the current status of the backing of ShareCash is at any moment, and to verify that we actually do have that money in our bank account. Now, regarding the security of the wallet, something that we're going to be implementing soon is going to be an invention that I previously made, which is an HSM system that incorporates software hardware combination to basically bring multi-sig to Ethereum at a hardware level. So it's going to be a very secure system, and yeah, we're going to be using multi-sig that way. This system came out of a pilot project that I did that eventually got tried out at the Bank of Croatia, I believe, for some of their own stablecoin tests. So it is proven already.
Yeah, so we're
Cool.
chain agnostic. That's another thing to add. So right now, obviously, what we're building is, the first variation is our first couple of tests were on Tron, funny enough, but and then the next one is what we're currently released is on the Binance Smart Chain. But we envision, and that really depends on the speed with which the second version of Ethereum is going to come out and what the transaction fees are going to be there. But if it doesn't happen by mid 2023, our settlement layer is going to be in Avalanche because it is the fastest layer 1 chain, and settlement is very important. So for us, we'll always have liquidity in these various chains, and there'll be a bridge. So because we want to be truly chain agnostic when it comes to layer 1 solutions. So we've outlined a roadmap of support for these various chains, and at each level, security would be more defined and more explicit. Like right now, we're simply using multi-sig Binance Smart Chain wallet, but as we increase the size of our security team and as we document more of the solution that's related to the settlement layer, I feel like we're going to release even more innovative ways to maintain cross-chain security. Our partners, Just Money, which we just announced today, they've just released what I believe is the best cross-chain swap on the market, and we are going to be one of the first companies to take advantage of what they've already done. And I invite you to check them out as well, just.money. And we are going to be using them in our store as a checkout method, and also going to be using some of their expertise to ensure that you can bridge assets securely cross-chain, and you can maintain that flow in a fully transparent manner. Like everything we do is entirely transparent down to like the nitty-gritty transaction. So some of your salaries are going to be known because every expense that the company does is recorded first in share cash, and then the fiat settlement happens later, right? So eventually we're going to have to build something like an Ether scan to scan through the transactions within ProductShare, but it is going to be public data because that is like the core value of the business, is to be transparent, because we are owned by our customers and governed by our customers, and the fairness of the profit distribution is of paramount importance. Like if that's off by even $1, then that means we failed.
And then going into the stake share governance token, how will the DAO work with voting rights? Will it be based on how many tokens investors hold?
Yes. So we picked angel numbers. So we have the total supply of 333,333,333 tokens. And it's split into 3 groups equally. So you got 111 million that goes to the team, and that gets distributed according to their common share ownership. So if I own 40% of the company, I would get 40% of that 111 million supply of tokens. Now, those tokens, and every token, regardless of whether it's an investor or it's a shareholder or it's any type of stakeholder, the tokens are vested over 33 months in equal increments. With the exception of the team tokens, they also have a 3-month lock. So the vesting period is 33 months for everybody. And we've modeled out like the simulation of the liquidity supply, and just to make sure that once the token is trading on decentralized platforms, that nobody has like the ability to influence the token price in a way that would be negative for the community. But the tokens that are allocated to the team is 111 million, and then there's the tokens that are allocated to customers are also 111 million. Of those 111 million, 66 million, or 60%, will be offered for sale in the course of our IDO, with the the lion's share of it coming out in phases 3 and 4. So the phase 3 of the IDO, we're offering 30 million stake share tokens and 33 million in the last phase. All of those phases will take place on the sharecash.money or productshare.cash website, and it will happen in ShareCash. So the first 2 phases, so the private sale right now and the actual pre-sale starts on July 27th. We're using the USDT stablecoin because we're simply not ready to collect money and don't have the regulatory, full regulatory approval to do the IDO in ShareCash. So that's why we've chosen the USDT. And the private sale right now is probably the most attractive way, or like the price is the most attractive to get tokens at 11 cents. So the price will progress through these phases. So in the private sale, you would be reserving tokens at 11 cents per token. In the next phase, which is the pre-sale, also on the Pink Sale platform, you will be reserving tokens at 22 cents per sale. So right now you're getting a 50% discount essentially. And starting on November 11th, we're going to be selling tokens at 0.33 share cash per token. And the last phase, which would start on May 10th, 2023, would be in the form also of share cash, but at 44 cents a token. Now, the first time the token will be traded on decentralized exchanges, it would be at the end of the pre-sale period, which would be on August 24th. And the price that we agreed to list the token at on PancakeSwap would be at 27 cents. So if you look at it, between the private sale price and the price that we're going to be listing at, it's like 145%. But again, we don't want investors that are going to just like sell the token, but we are limiting how much you can sell at a time by making sure that both the investors and the team are in the same boat and have that 33-month vesting period. So it's a lot of threes, but it works. It makes the math beautiful, and it also controls the supply. We have, I don't know if I've made this public yet, but there is a model of the token release schedules and how the supply is going to be affected, and how the staking rewards are also going to be distributed month to month. So that brings me to the point. So the other 40% of the customers block, it's 444,000, 444, so 6 fours. And these tokens are going to be emitted over time as staking rewards. So you will be able to, because we want the customers to keep their tokens locked in so that they continue to receive the distributions from the profit. Because this point I kind of want to explain a bit more. So right now, when we split the profit in 3 ways, the customer's percentage goes into a wallet that contains all of the customer's tokens that haven't been distributed yet, right? So that's where the cashback money is going to be coming from, is the people that lock their customer's token into a wallet that's going to receive the share cash profit distributions, and they're going to be earning a yield. And the yield is we're going to start it at 100% in the first month, and it's going to be decreasing ever so slightly. Glenn, am I allowed to share a screen? Because I can just like quickly show it on my screen. I have it.
Share your screen. Yeah, I was going to ask that next about the product stake platform. Yeah, locked, unlocked stake, and you were saying it's locked there, and the APY average. And also, yeah, we're going through the private sale there. If you share a link in our shared chat, I can put that into our main chat for investors. And what's the sort of vesting period for getting involved in the private sale?
It's the same as everybody. So like it would be, so if you're involved in the private sale right now, you would get your tokens on July 27th at the start of the pre-sale period. But you would get them in equal increments of 33 cents per, 33, like 1/33 every month. So hang on a sec. I'm going to share my screen.
This is the private sale, is it, on the website?
So the private sale is linked to in our Telegram chat, and I believe today we will be adding it to our website as well. At the moment, it is invite only, or invite only. I mean, it's pretty easy to get in on it. You just need to create a ProductShare account at productshare.co, and then in your account profile, you need to store your Binance chain wallet address, and that would automatically whitelist you for the sale. But we don't like advertise it very we just started it a couple of days ago. So hang on, I'm figuring out how to do the share screen. Unable to share screen. Please grant access and system settings.
When Anton explained to me about the stake share token allowing you to get 33% of all the profits of the platform, that automatically sold me. That not only like you get 33% of all the profits on the e-commerce. That's pretty good.
Awesome. And while Anton's trying to look at the sharing screen, maybe I can ask Brandon about the marketing plans going forward for the ProductShare project. What's happening there?
Yes,
this thing wants me to reboot the client. Am I able to come in as soon as it reboots? Like just the client, the Telegram client. So I'll quit and reopen. Will it let me in? It should, right?
Usually, it just at the top left corner, share screen, and it should come up.
Okay, so let me just try to share the screen right now again. Will it allow me or no?
Yeah, is there any specific questions that you or anybody else has about what we might be planning for the future?
With the marketing side, I was wondering if you're going to look at that, like discount sort of websites that are really popular and get people in, and what you're planning, around the marketing and going into the future, basically.
In regards to discounts, you said, sorry?
Discount websites, really popular. You're looking in that area for ProductShare as well, to get people involved and shoppers and consumers.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that appeals to consumers most is getting getting value out of their experience and getting rewarded for their experience, feeling like they're important to a community or an ecosystem. And I think that the model of ProductShare that Anton came up with does that better than any other company or product or service that I've ever seen before. Personally, myself, as a consumer, or as somebody that's worked in marketing for almost like 9 years at this point. I got a degree in marketing communications. I've worked for different ad agencies. I've worked for different companies in the e-commerce space, and there was always an emphasis on building community and on rewarding customers fairly, but a lot of it fell under the I wouldn't say prototypical, but the standard rewards programs that you generally see, where it's hey, you earn a few points for purchasing this product, or you earn a few points as a loyalty customer, and it all kind of fell under the same standard umbrella, whereas ProductShare kind of breaks that umbrella in half and kind of destroys it and starts to set a new standard for consumers when it comes to the way that they feel in regards to earning rewards and being a part of the community. And we want to leverage that for the marketing that we're going to, or for the marketing efforts that we're going to be putting forward. We want to ensure that everyone's experience when they come to the site is not only positive, but is something that they'll want to tell their community about or tell their network about. And that to us is marketing that's invaluable. There's no price that you can put on having somebody that has a really rewarding experience on our platform. And I think the best example and the biggest leader in the industry right now is a website called Chewy.com. I'm not sure if anyone's in the chat is familiar with it, but it was started by Ryan Cohen, And essentially their model is to create a community pet store online. So you register your pet, and then they send you notifications when your pet's due for shots, or when it's your pet's birthday, or when your pet needs, to change their diet. There's a lot of personal touches that were added, and it's become one of the most successful, I think, pet supply companies in the world and in the history of that industry. And it's based on building a community organically and making people feel on a personal level like they're involved in the community and that they have a place to go. So that's the angle that we're taking with our marketing, is building a community and really making people feel like they're a part of it, and that they're going to have a great experience being part of the of ProductShare.
That's a
Awesome.
great answer.
Anton's got the shared screen here. We can all see that. Yeah.
You guys see it? Okay, so I'll quickly show. Hold on, I'll make it just a little bigger so that we can. So here we just started on. So this shows a timeline of tokens getting unlocked in the various categories from a month-to-month basis. So you can see that the co-creators. The co-creators tokens don't get unlocked up until the third month. Right, so let's say if you get your tokens on August 26th, so all of the 111 million are going to get distributed, but that's what they're going to be. So they're going to start getting unlocked over here, right? Now, so this is the ideal start date. So from July 27th until August 26th is when we're going to allow users to purchase tokens. Now, the investors' tokens are going to get vested right away, right? So the private the tokens that are purchased in the seed sale will get minted, and the first 1/33 of it will be unlocked, right? So this column over here, it sums up all of the tokens that are currently unlocked and tradable, and it does so across all of the stages. So you'll be able. So here is when the next phase will start, which is a much larger phase, and then from here it will show you detailed what the phases like what the total number of tokens is that's available, and it will go all the way up until all of the tokens have been distributed. Now this 288, there's also 44,000 that gets distributed as rewards, as staking rewards. So let me explain the model here. So this model has a couple assumptions. So assumption number one is that, this is not an assumption. We control this number, right? So we say that we're going to allow the tokens that are already unlocked and in circulation to be staked. The staking contract will initially pay 100% APY on the tokens, and then it will decrease by 1% per month. I mean, there's just a simple formula. We're open to having the community updated, but based on these assumptions, this is kind of what happens, is that you have staking rewards. So you have whatever the circulating supply is. We're assuming that half these tokens are going to be staked into this contract, and based on this APY, you're going to get new tokens introduced from that from the tokens that are allocated to customer rewards. Now, those rewards are going to continue until the cumulative rewards reach 44 million, and at that point, we're going to stop paying rewards in stake share, and rewards are going to switch to another form, probably share cash, or like we're going to figure it out. But in in October 2024, we're going to need to make a decision of how the staking model will work at that point. So we don't have all the answers just yet, but we do have all of the assumptions. So the first assumption we're making is that the number of tokens that are staked into the contract are 50% of the supply, and that number will also decrease, in some progressive format, right? We're going to run multiple simulations as data gets collected in these months, and based on historical data, we will update the models. But you always need to have a starting point. Now, if you look at the TVL over here, so that would be at the current price of the token would be the value locked inside the system. And as you can see, it's progressing quite nicely up until, so I would say by, and then this is again, like this is a less than optimistic scenario, but towards the end of this period, which would be sometime in 2026, we would say in the worst case scenario, you got about 70 million token, 70 million locked value. Now, yeah, don't worry about this. This is still probably something that I was working on, but like that's, so I'm going to make a portion of this model public. The one thing that we've done here is that we've mapped out all of the phases, and you can see what's happening and when. So the private sale is on June 23rd. It's going to be a 14-day period, and 1.1 million tokens at 11 cents are being offered. Now, the participants of the private sale will register their wallets, and they are going to be the first ones to receive an airdrop of their tokens, which would happen on July 27th. And from July 27th until August 24th, which is the 28-day period here, there's going to be 2.2 million tokens offered at 22 cents using the Tether stablecoin. And the next two phases are going to happen in the form of share cash, and they will take about 180 days each. And I'm sure they're going to be shorter at that point, but we just wanted to look at, and again, this is all worst case scenario modeling or just a little above the worst case scenario. So I believe when we do share this data, I think these are, I would say, very conservative or less than conservative estimates. And we are controlling the price of the token also in progression using angel numbers because they make the math a lot easier and also represent like the value changes as we see throughout this process. This model also has all of the because the liquidity. So we're committing at the pre-sale, we have no choice but to commit 51% to liquidity. So in terms of actual proceeds, we're going to get 200K, and that will get us up until November and a little bit longer, of course. And from that point, we're going to, be able to hire the people that we need. The next two phases, we're putting 22% towards liquidity. So you can always see, how much liquidity the token has. So again, like looking here, you can see the liquidity ratio. I think we've calculated it to up until a certain, and I can finish the calculation. So this is the token liquidity ratio that you can see. Versus, so it's essentially the ratio of the US dollar value to the number of tokens that are currently outstanding.
Okay,
I'm gonna proofread.
We've seen enough about the pre-sale there. We're running out of time, unfortunately, so I'll go to community questions. Let's see, Syed, you had a question for Anton and the team here at ProductShare. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. As we are running short on time, so we'll only be asking one question. So we're wondering that the data that the shoppers, that the vendors are providing when registering or creating their account on your platform, like home addresses and phone number, where will this data be stored and how secure will it be?
So sorry, Syed, could you repeat the question? I just, so you're saying, will the customer data be stored? And I missed that out.
Where is it going to be stored, and will it be secure?
Okay, so currently, we're a database-driven company, which is going through a transition towards decentralized storage. So we do intend for the protocol to be entirely decentralized. So we believe that, as time goes on, the percentage of decentralization will increase. And one of the elements on the roadmap is to utilize decentralized storage, which, obviously, the obvious ways like Filecoin or IPFS, but there are other ways of doing it. And one of those other ways is if we have enough subscribers that have their mobile application, we can use the mobile nodes as a way to decentralize the storage of data. So depending on the uptake on depending on the uptake of our online, or sorry, of our mobile application, or whether we're able to use a portion of the user's runtime if they're using the application inside of the browser as a way to reliably store data. That would affect, how we store the data. But the intention is always to decentralize the protocol as much as possible.
Wonderful.
To give you a little bit more of a precise answer as to where we're storing that today, our e-commerce data is stored on BigCommerce, which is a Shopify competitor, and they are a huge company that has really good security. So that's where your phone number and stuff would be stored for now.
Wonderful. Got it. Thank you for explaining that. Over to you, Glenn.
And we mirror the database, so like we're not actually locked in. So the entire database is actually it's mirrored on our own infrastructure, which is redundant. So we're using a combination of DigitalOcean and Amazon Web Services to store the data. So and we actually we would have launched a lot earlier if we didn't have to migrate from Shopify. Our first proof of concept that we've ran for the last year and a half was actually a Shopify application, but because of our crypto integration, we had to switch to BigCommerce. If you're interested more, you can just DM me or whatever. It's a long story, but it pushed us 3 months. So it was a 3-month delay as a result of the switch.
Got it. Thank you for explaining. Thank you.
Fortunately, we've run out of time. We've got a few hands up, but in our main chat, you can get over to their socials. I'm sure they'll be there. And the Telegram, if you've got a few questions after the AMA. Yeah, it's a very unique offer with staking on the products, and you get profits, and people just buying their regular things that they buy. They're getting a lot of a discount if family or friends buy a second product afterwards. So it's really exciting that we've been able to have the AMA today with the team here at ProductShare. As always, we say for Whalecoin community investors, AMAs are for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice. You can check out their website, white paper, and like I said, the community socials are there in the main chat if you've got any more questions after the AMA. Thank you very much for coming today, guys. It's been great speaking to you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thanks, everyone.
And thank you, guys. And any questions where our doors are open, so to speak, or physically if you're ever in Miami. And thank you so much for this opportunity. We look forward to speaking to each of you.
Yeah, send more questions my way too.
Okay, I think we've got Spin the Wheel as well for $100. Fact is here to cover that.
Yeah, Glenn, I'm here, and I gotta admit I don't have the spin ready, but while we wait for me to get the spin ready, I'm actually curious about just 2 quick things. Since we got the team here, you guys are building something super cool with basically staking to choose what makes your money grow. So you mentioned earlier that there's like 1,000 products that you got SKUs for, so they're waiting in a queue to get sort of listed. I'm wondering, are you looking at specific niches first? You did mention the clothing company, or will you actually look at some metrics from the previous products that are already selling? I'm curious about this selection process that you're going to go through.
Well, it's really rooted in the 3 categories. So, and actually we didn't touch upon it at all. And I feel like that was like a major thing that we should have discussed. So we have health and wellness as our primary category, because the mission of the company is to inspire and empower people in our community to lead healthier, happier, and more harmonious lives. So the product selections are really at first are about a natural way to improve your health or maintain your health. So we work a lot with Ayurveda practitioners. Like, I'm a yogi, so I've been studying the Indian culture and the Ayurveda medicine for quite a while. And basically, for any pharmacological solution where the pharma companies are making, there is always an herb or a natural way to treat or just improve your health. So health and wellness is like the first pillar, and then comes your lifestyle, and there's going to be a lot of lifestyle products. So the categories near and dear to me, like yoga equipment, sports, like sports recreational type products. Educational products, books are going to be a huge category. So it's all about really just living towards our mission of empowering people with both knowledge and resources to lead a happier, a healthier, and a more harmonious lives together. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of spiritual.
it sounds super exciting. It sounds definitely. I mean, we need more people like you that have experience. I know you mentioned you kind of not gave up, but stepped away for a little bit from crypto. But I'm glad you're back. We need more people like this that are bringing some cool DeFi products. And if I can make my money work, just staking there and promoting a project, and then the whole community does it, and it creates a nice ecosystem. It's good for the holders, is good for you because you kind of get a better feel of the market and the overall investment. So just one more quick question as I spin the wheel here. I'm also wondering about what sort of metrics will be there. Like once you list the products, or before even, will you show some market research that you've done that kind of vets that product, and then afterwards will you be showing sales and what kind of funnels you've used to put it out there? How will that work?
Well, fully transparent data will start being available, I would say, in November. So right now, a lot of the information, I mean, obviously we'll be able to share, share the data that the consumers are interested in. We're fully transparent, but in terms of like a self-serve way to access the data, we envision showing everything from, the number of anything that can be recorded on the blockchain, like throughout the consumer experience will be shown. And the marketing conversion data is obviously going to be shown as well, because in reality, we're a data company, and analytics is what really makes this model, right? So like we're going to be keeping track of the core KPIs and making them available to the community. So the most important one is the click-through rate and the conversion rate from the landing page. These are like one of the more important ones, and we're going to determine them with respect to individual products, with respect to product groups, and with respect to like greater categories. And this is really what dictates the number of the size of the cashback that we're willing to pay, and the ability to reward. So when productstake.com platform is going to be live, the user is going to be able to click into historical data and drill it down to the first day that the product got introduced. We're not going to be able to show the data of like individual ads, but we may be able to do it by like campaign, right? It's because some of the data, like if we're buying traffic from Facebook, part of that system is closed in, and I don't know what we can show, but as more and more decentralized media buying platforms occur, I feel like even the purchase of advertising can be automated. Because right now we have product marketing managers that receive the budget, and then their job is to allocate that budget across the various advertising platforms. So initially we're using Facebook and Google, because Facebook is really where we feel like a lot of traffic and a lot of our customer sharing is going to be happening. But as time goes on and new platforms emerge, we will be automating and decentralizing even the process of purchasing the advertising. And with the Facebook stable currency that is, or I don't know if it's stable, but like their token, I think will allow us to interact with the Facebook platform in a programmatic manner. And I have full confidence that that's the direction that they're going in, especially, changing themselves to Meta. And yeah, so it's like our goal is to show everything, right? So if there is, and listen to our community if we're not, if they want to know something, right? There's not a secret out there, right? Like at least that's the way we want to show our mentality, right? Like, and at first, it's going to be a process, but it'll be perfected over time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm all for transparency, and all for people making their own decision, but also being involved in the process and then getting rewarded for all of that. You're basically just offering the factory, and then people get to choose. Yeah, we're building this, we're shipping this, we're getting profit off of that. So that's super exciting for me. So thank you for answering. It sounds really cool. We get a lot of projects, that say, we're building something new, innovative, or whatever, but you guys are actually going the extra mile, and it is something new. So I think a lot of people will be excited about this.
Oh, thank you. So being in stealth actually was worth it, right? Because it is a model that everybody was surprised about, right? So it's like in retrospect, it was a good decision to keep this under the wraps for so long. So I thank you so much again for having us. It's an honor to be part of this community.
Anton, Jose, and Brandon for coming today. Yeah, super exciting to see this for our investors when we get unique projects in. It's always nice, it's not sort of copying the trends from the past. And yeah, and that's what makes crypto exciting, So I'll finish the recording, send a copy over for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into our main chat for our investors to listen back to later, but couldn't call a call today. And thank you for coming, guys, and take care.
Thank you, Glenn. And you said I can get the video of this call because our board of directors and like a few other stakeholders asked for a video. Would that be possible?
Yeah. I'll send that into the shared chat. Yeah, we always send you a copy of the recording of the YouTube and Telegram recordings for your investors every AMA. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Because now that I think about it, I forgot to press record. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Take care, everyone. Cheers.